This episode of From Carpool to College is brought to you by Lakeborne Coffee, a New Jersey coffee company inspired by lake life, community, and slowing down enough to enjoy the moment. At Lakeborne Coffee, it's about more than just a cup. It's about connection, conversation, and creating experiences that bring people together. Whether you're starting your day, catching up with friends, or listening to your favorite podcast, wink, wink, Lakeborne believes great coffee has a way of making moments feel a little more meaningful. We're so grateful at Carpool to College for their support and the conversations we're able to share with students, families, and educators. To learn more, visit lakebornecoffee.com.
Welcome to From Carpool to College, a show for parents who are trying to keep their sanity while navigating the college planning landscape. Hello, everyone. Welcome to From Carpool to College. I'm Tracy Amadeo.
I'm Tara Hartz.
Tara Hartz. We are caffeinated, excited, and we have a very special guest today. Tara is going to introduce.
Okay, so welcome to the show. Today on our podcast, we're thrilled to welcome the very famous Maggie Doyne, who is a New Jersey native and a remarkable just human being overall, whose gap year story will completely reframe how you think about your child taking time off before college and maybe rewriting their story. At 18, instead of heading straight to the university, Maggie decided to take a turn and found herself going through India and then eventually Nepal. What started as a gap year adventure became a life-changing mission when she encountered children living on the streets and working in dangerous conditions. Moved by what she witnessed, Maggie made an extraordinary decision, and she used some of her hard-earned money to eventually buy some land in rural Nepal and begin building a home and school for at-risk children. That bold choice led to the creation of BlinkNow, a nonprofit organization that has transformed an entire community. Today, the Kopila Valley Children's Home provides a safe, loving environment for dozens of children, while the Kopila Valley School serves over 400 students, maybe more, from kindergarten through high school. And under the leadership of BlinkNow and Maggie, she's also launched programs in women's empowerment, sustainable agriculture, and community health. Maggie's incredible work has earned her international recognition. She's been honored as a CNN hero, received the Do Something Award, and was named one of the most influential people under 30 by various publications. She's spoken at major conferences worldwide and has been featured in documentaries about her inspiring journey. She was named recently, not too long ago, 2023 Inspiring Women of the Year by the Confederation of Nepalese Industries at their Women's Leadership Forum. But perhaps most remarkably, it all started with an 18-year-old's decision to take a gap year. So, Maggie, we welcome you to the show.
Hi! This is one of my favorite topics, and I cannot wait to dig in. Thank you for having me.
We are so excited. And, Tara and I talked about gap years. Tara actually brought it up because she teaches in Mendham, where you were a guest speaker at some point. Your roots. It's your roots.
I'm home. This is my home. This is my hometown territory.
That's right. Right. So, yeah, Tara and I both started teaching together in Mendham, but we were in the township, and you were the borough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Side of the tracks.
So completely different worlds.
Oh, I know. Please. It's funny, like reading your book, I read it and then I listened to an Audible first. Maggie has a book called Between the Mountain and the Sky. And I've listened to it. So I feel like, Maggie, I know you because I've listened to the book twice already. And it's profound and amazing and beautiful. You're a damn good writer. You are an incredible writer.
Thank you, Mendham High School. Mendham Board of Education, right there.
Your high school
teachers. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, teachers.
Yeah. Amazing. So beautifully written. But But we also, when we met you during the movie screening in Montclair, I guess over the summer, no, I don't know when it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we took pictures with you. We were all giddy and starstruck, and we made a couple of the PR photos, which we were like, "Oh my god, we made a PR
Of
photo."
course you did. Jersey,
You
look,
did. You in the front row
you're my
crying.
you're my people.
So, but you said in your own words when we were talking about your gap year, you said that, "Well, I don't know if you wanna have me on because of a gap year." So,
Mm,
let's start with that.
mm,
Mm. So when we talk about a gap year, we come from a culture where um, everyone seems to have the same recipe card, and parents are we want the best for our kids always, and we all have the same idea culturally that it's high school, then right off to college. And it's not just a college, it has to be a special college, and it has to be a 4-year college, and it has to be away to college, and it has to be a US News and World Report ranked college. So we have all these ideas about what we're supposed to be doing, but something that you echo in your book and you weave it through beautifully is you keep on telling your kids, I see you. I see. So we wanted to talk to you about that. We wanted to talk to you about seeing kids and
mm.
your gap year and how it just completely pivoted your life.
Yeah, I'm every parent's worst fear. Uh, because the kind of false notion around gap years, and there's a lot of problematic language with gap years in general. It's really a launch year, it's a year on, it's not a year off. I mean, there's so many problematic negative connotations. And but one of the biggest fears with gap years is that your kid won't come back to college. Well, I'm not going to let you do that because you're not going to go back to college. I know this space so well because I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of high schoolers. That makes me equipped to talk about this. And every high schooler, like, my parents would never let me do that. And every parent would be like, I would never let my kid do that. And one thing that my mom has said as a gap year parent, who did allow us to take risk and encouraged adventure, encouraged a year on, encourage that time for rite of passage and self-discovery and all of those things, is like, well, now that you've done these things and you've built these things and you've gained some notoriety in your field, people say, what did you do to raise her? How did you make such a daughter? But she always says, if anything had happened to you, I would have been on CNN as like the worst mother of the year for letting you do that. Instead, you're on CNN as the hero of the year. But I think a lot of what we're talking about is really fear in parenthood, fear in society, fear in our culture right now. What if my kid fails? What if something happens? I mean, it's the reason why kids don't play outside in the front yard anymore, not to mention send your kid on a gap year or a city year or anywhere in the world. So if we have problems with kids bicycling to school around the block, no wonder we're gonna struggle with gap years. And you're right, like, especially I was raised in New Jersey, born and bred, and it wasn't, "Where are you gonna go to college?" or "Are you going to college?" or "What are you doing next?" It was, "Which college are you gonna get into?" I mean, it was to the point where they were like, the pennants,
Oh,
like the college triangle things, and when somebody got in, the guidance department would post them. It was in 2005, which is the year that I was a senior in high school. They published it in the local newspaper, the Observer Tribune, who got in where, who was going where. You couldn't go to King's, you couldn't go to the grocery store as a 17-year-old. You couldn't walk off the soccer field. You couldn't go to your parents' friend's house without being grilled about which colleges you were applying to, which colleges you had looked at, which colleges you had toured, and which colleges were you getting into. And we can say it all we want, like, oh, we're so much better than that. And with the mental health crisis that we're in and the price of privilege, it's changed, but it really hasn't.
it
It
has
really hasn't.
no.
It is a luxury item that is for this upper echelon of society, and then everybody else is chasing it because it is a status symbol. It's like the bag you carry. And we got to call it what it is. First, we have to recognize it for what it is. What are the questions that we're asking of young people? Where are you going to college? As if that's the most important thing. We're asking them to value humanity, values, kindness, finding oneself, your own inner journey, What do you want to be? What's your purpose? Really getting into what do you stand for? What do you believe in? And we're not asking those questions. We're asking which brand of college are you going to? Is it Bucknell? Is it BC? Is it Duke? Is it Villanova? Is it an Ivy? Because if you're an Ivy, that means you're a good one. You're a top creme de la creme.
And your
And
parents and your parents are even better.
yeah,
To do something right that you
how did that you get parented? So it's problematic. It's incredibly problematic because we have attached value to wherever you get in, which by the way is a total crapshoot. It has nothing to do with anything except
we know
it's all a crapshoot. It's
it
the hardest time in the history of time it's ever been to get into any college, and it's an industry.
it's a
It
business. It is
is
totally a business.
it's an industry. Yeah, it's a business.
Mhm.
And we're all drinking the Kool-Aid. My daughter took a gap year, and when I got that call, I had that moment of gasp. And I am a gap. I was like, oh, okay, are you sure you had a full scholarship and a I think it starts by fear. We're all driven by fear. What if my kid doesn't succeed? What will happen to my kid? And what does success look like? It's that definition of success. And success in our circles is like, where'd your kid go? Because that's going to get you on the right track with the right people, with the right network, to the right career, to the right, what is right, what is right. And then we're wondering why we're in a mental health crisis, why we're in an epidemic, why we're all chasing happiness, why, we're at this deficit and we're at this time of just great despair and hopelessness. And look at the questions that we're asking our children. It's not right and it has to change. And I do think that I am, in a way, people's worst nightmare. I do think, despite everything, I have an honorary PhD, leading a global organization that's being modeled around the world, best-selling author, subject of a film, and I still think people are not willing to talk about alternative paths. I just think maybe we're getting there, but we're not. So I love this topic. I could talk to you about this for 18 hours, and it could not end. I feel my blood pressure rising as a parent of Gen Z right now, as we're in this time and in this space. It's like this is such a critical conversation.
It
What
is.
questions are we asking?
Right, and
What
I think that we were talking about this, Tracy, the other day when we said it should almost be required after high school to just, in some ways, take that time to kind of figure out, because when students are 17, 18, sometimes that's a lot to have them commit to something that's 4 years at this amount of money, and, it's a lot. When they
a
run
lot? A lot? $90,000 a year. 90 grand for these top colleges now. They're in like $95,000 a year. A lot of money. We're talking about $500,000.
Yeah.
A 17-year-old, their brains aren't even developed.
Yeah.
I was a good student. Like I was a straight A. I did the IB. I did the AP. I did it. I took the SATs. I did the SAT prep course. I was class treasurer, editor in chief of my yearbook. I did it all. I did it all. And it's, it, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to be. I didn't. And I would have just been going to class and showing up. And then we're wondering why college campuses are ridden with drugs and alcohol and promiscuity and party culture and depression. And it's like, where have we gone? How have we gotten so off track that just a moment of quiet, a moment of pause, a rite of passage, a questioning of the four walls of a classroom, the questioning of like, who am I and what is my place in this world? How can I contribute? What can I give? What could I start? It's yeah, we need to talk about it.
and even the if you look at the fine print, the data for college reporting, when they report the national graduation rates, the fine line says it's over 6 years, Maggie. It's not over 4 years. So the national graduation rate, I think the last I checked, was about 62%. So only 62% of kids who enter college are gonna graduate in 6 years, not 4 years. So what is that saying? Like, we're floundering. We're floundering. We're navigating through our stuff. We're trying to figure it out. Are we seeing our kids? Are colleges seeing our kids? I think there's definitely Tara and I go visit college campuses across the country. We pretend like we both have kids. I have 2 boys, 20 and 21 now. You can read- So they're-
We're showing our wrinkles, everybody.
yes, for everyone listening, I'm showing Maggie my what is it called?
The
Like
neck.
my neck, my waddle. So um
Firm proud.
So Tara and I visit colleges across the country, and we're like secret shoppers. So we ask, what are you doing for this? What about the anxious kid? And I think colleges are trying to get it, but I just don't know if you can trust an institution to raise your kid. I don't know how many. I really do think colleges are trying with counseling programs and mentoring systems set up in the schools. The smaller schools are doing it better. The larger schools are trying to figure it out. But our kids are not graduating in 4 years. They're all applying to the same 30 schools. It's going to cost you 8 grand a year as a Jersey girl to go to Penn State. And you're telling me the reason why you want to go is because you want to go to the whiteout football game. We need your help. Help us.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is redefining education. So I think the notion that if my kid doesn't go to college, they're not being educated. That's the like education is so many things beyond the fancy landscaping, the class per child. Like education is that journey. It is that coming knowing oneself. It is that understanding of place in the world, finding one's passion, finding where you're going to contribute, where you want to go with your career. And the best place that that can happen is actually working in the world, having experiencing, having exposure. It's just different for everybody. I'm not anti-education. I'm the most pro-education till the day I die. I will be talking about the importance of education, accessibility, and the rights of every child to have access. My vision is for a world where children are safe, educated, and loved, where they love to read books, where there's knowledge, where there's empowerment from knowledge. So when I went on my gap year, it wasn't that my education stopped. It was really where the world was opened up to me and I saw how big the world was. And I was reading more than I'd ever read. Reading is just it's everything.
Yeah.
Like that
Mhm.
curiosity, that digging into a book, that wanting to know, that curiosity. You know, education is about staying curious and staying open and building a briefcase of tools. um it's just so much. It's grown beyond it. I do think the education sector gets that, but we just haven't evolved beyond the brand because of the business associated with it. So I think we just have to keep making it okay for kids to take a year or take a pause or go do an internship or go take on a vocation or go, hey, you're interested in this field, go work on it, try it out. I mean, the best thing about my gap year was the exposure that I had to, I worked on a farm. We did outdoor survival skills. We were scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, learning about ecosystems. We lived on a Buddhist monastery. We were dropped in with people from all different places and cultures and colors and all the time. I mean, indigenous knowledge. Um, it was just about it was everything educational. So I think that's what we want. We want curiosity, we want passion, we want meaning, we want purpose for our kids. And yes, that is available on college campuses, and it's also available in 1,000 other places on 1,000 other days. And so staying open to whatever journeys and making sure that it's okay, that you want to work for a few years, it's okay. You want to go to community college for a couple years, it's okay. You want to go on a vocational track, it's okay. You want to take a year of pause, and you've got the ability to do that, we need to make sure every kid has access to a gap year because there's a major accessibility issue now as well that we're dealing with it, where we don't want it to become that you can only do a gap year if you have the privilege of taking a year. So I think we just have to keep redefining and staying open-minded about what education is and what our goals are and what our questions are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even changing the name, right? Gap year. We said it just doesn't sit right. It's just something that you're assuming that you will go right back into that scripted, you know, 4-year degree or whatever whatever the society has kind of like, you know, written for you. But I think that, yeah, that's part of it. Just being able to keep talking about it to make sure that it is fine. It's okay. It's acceptable. It's in fact maybe the best thing for you versus going into that school right out of high school.
And it sets you ahead because when you do go, and by the way, like 98% of gap year students return and go to college, to four-year colleges. Like, I am an anomaly, that's why I don't wanna be a spokesperson because I feel like it's doing, "But what if my kid's not gonna," your kid's gonna go back to college, like
Yeah.
90
You're pretty sure. Yeah.
pretty sure of the students in my cohort, everybody went on to college and university and, for the most part. We're not talking about, like, tech kids who drop out of college to start a tech company. Like, we're talking about a moment of pause, of finding oneself, of having a rite of passage, of asking questions, of going inward and just taking a moment. That's what it's about. What was my second of all? My second of all is that, um, yeah, just make it accessible, make it something that's normalized and that it's an advantage. Like, see it as an advantage when you're sitting in a classroom, when you're sitting in spaces that you've, for me, it gives me confidence that, like, I can talk more about the cul-de-sac. I grew up on New Jersey. I can talk about other things. I can talk about other learnings and fallings and failures and stories. It just that breeds the exposure to experiences. You've met so many people. It widens your perspective. And that's what we want. We want a full life.
Yeah.
We don't want an easy life. We don't want a happy, just happy, all good, shiny. We know that bubble has been burst. Life is going to be hard, no matter who you are, no matter it's hard. Earth school is hard. It's about building a full, beautiful life, full of beautiful experiences. And like going to Wake Forest, I shouldn't pick on any school. I didn't get into Wake Forest, so I can pick on that one.
Right.
I was rejected and I took it personally.
Yes, that's the other piece. These kids' whole
Of
self-worth
Earth.
attached to who says yes to them, and then this Instagram or bulletin board at school that says where they're gonna be attending on May 1st, on decision day. It's
Yeah, and then I forgot about Instagram. Yeah, you get your swag and then you wear it, your hat or your hoodie, and then you wear it. So I was rejected. Like a big part of my story is that I was convinced I had to go to Wake Forest, which is just, I think it's a great school. I totally get why I liked it. I had to go. I had to go. It was my top choice. I need to go to Wake. You can put yourself in my head as a 17-year-old. And long story short, I was rejected, which just was really, rejection is really good. We should all practice rejection. We need to be rejected and be okay with it and stand in our, but it was a good thing because it helped me kind of question, like, why was my self-worth and everything I was going to be in the world contingent upon this school? And it's been 20 years since I got that rejection letter. And last year, the incoming class of Wake Forest read my book and asked me to come and speak.
oh.
And as a speaker on campus, and they had no idea that they had rejected me 20 years ago.
Oh my oh my god.
And I opened with that story of rejection. And it kind of just goes to show that, like, we're you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Listen to your voice, listen to that inner knowing. Don't focus too much on what he said or she said or the rankings. Like, really we need to get quiet right now and we need to listen and we need pause. And we're being hit with so much of should do this, should be this, it should be like, just pause ask ourselves what really matters, ask ourselves what's important, and move from that place. And it has nothing to do with the brand. Just none of it. None, like, it's we really have to change what we value. It's about a value system, and we all can agree we value education. What mother or father doesn't value education? We can all agree on that value, but then it's become more than a value system. It's become our identity,
Mhm.
and we got to do better.
So I'm a school counselor during the day. I wear my school counselor hat. I was a college and career counselor. I do a little bit of everything. I'm like Jane of all trades. Um, how would you advise a high school in North Jersey to address that issue? Because I'm in the thick of it. I
Mm,
am in my, I'm up to my gills reading essays and trying to work with kids one on one to help them untether their self-worth to that top ranked school. And it's also intertwined with their parents' expectations. I have a lot of first gen students. So the parents are trying to tap into that American dream as well. So I could use some help.
mm. I think is it's all about deprogramming, like, or offering other perspectives. And I think the way we do that is that they have to see people who look like them, who can relate to them, who have gone on different paths and how it worked out. Like, thank God Wake Forest rejected me. That's the best rejection ever. And 20 years later, I can still say, thank God that school didn't want me. Thank God I got that B- in biology, because thank you, B-. Like, hands up for the B- kids. You're fine. It's okay to be a B- kid. B- people are fine. Like, you're so I
Yeah.
think, like, deprogramming and, like, offering another ecosystem of perspectives, and just constantly being like, you're going to be okay. All of this is going to make sense. It's going to work out. And giving them exposure to other things that take them out of that little, we got to, like, burst the bubble a little bit.
Mhm.
I also think we have to offer alternatives. Yes, they should get a college counselor coming in and setting up a table with the college, and they should also get someone from flight school. There's this incredible program out there called Flight School right now, and it's about a launch year program, and you go inward for the year. Um, there are so many endless programs, so I think we need equal representation. They need to see someone who did community college that's championed just as much as the person that went to Stanford. That your human value is not valued in this way, and that it's going to be okay. And especially right now with the rising of technology, you want to learn something, you can learn it. You can go on to AI, and every single MIT professor, you can Yale, you give the top colleges in the world, you can do their course online. Like,
Yeah, and
also, yeah,
the micro like, the credentialing, right? So the stacking of credentials is huge 'cause that's technology has moved so fast.
I
You're
think just, like, talking about success, like, what is success?
yeah.
What is it? Because if you think success is the car you drive and what your kitchen looks like, we're at a real deficit right now. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's it's really about, like, what conversations are we having? What matters? What's important? What does our humanity need? What does our family need? I mean, our human family. How do we find peace in the world? How do we create a better world? What is success? Like, what is success? I want to see all kinds of success. We're the only country in the world that the first question we ask is, "What do you do? What do you do?"
What do you
And
do?
we answer with our job.
Right.
Like, "Oh, it's or what do you do for a living? What are you up to?" Like, we're the only place in the world that answers that question with our career path, because I don't know.
No, feel you. This is this and we want to challenge our kids, our students, our clients, the parents we work with, And we're starting with having conversations. We're starting with, we're from carpool to college. So we're we're yapping away in the speakers of the parents. We're trying to get into the ear that, yeah, okay, college is a pathway. We focus on education and why it's important and what your kid knows and what they don't know, what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with, different options, different choices. You don't have to take all AP classes. It's all whatever. And then we morph to the college scene. You don't necessarily have to go this way. My son went to community college first. I'm a college planner. I'm a like, and my kid went to CCM first. And he was the only one out of all his friends. And he was, May 1st, he was like, yeah, I didn't have a Titans sweatshirt, but whatever. But again, like just trying to have the conversations first to normalize jumping off of that path. It is such a challenge. It's such
Yeah.
but we start with conversations. Why?
Yeah, I think again, all we can do is have the conversation. And if your reason for going to college is like, well, it's the only thing. It's not the only thing. Like, that's just the next natural step. Like, no, you have so many options. There's so much you can do. What timeline and racetrack are we all on and where are we going? And when we look at our world right now, we need something different. Like the world is not like we're a reflection of the world that we create and what our intentions and what our focus is and what we say success is. Um so yeah, I hate that I'm coming off as anti-establishment or anti-education. Like, by the way, I'm a my husband and I, we both didn't go to college. My husband's a successful filmmaker. And I kind of have to be careful of what I say. And I'm also a parent and of kids who mostly go to college. And I also built one of the world's greatest schools because I believe so much in education. So I think all of this can exist. I just think we have to be really careful about not placing too much self-worth, value in the journey on the colleges that we go to. And gap years serve a really great purpose for that. And there's so many options and so much to do and it's all going to be okay no matter what path we all choose to take.
Right, and college is not a terminal destination that, don't peak in high school. I always tell my high school students, "Don't it's good that you're not peaking in high school. We don't wanna peak in high school, and we don't wanna peak in college. We don't wanna peak in our next step." It's constant journey, and college is not your terminal destination. That is not your life goal. Where you go the book, like, where you go is not who you are. That's
Yeah,
o
if anything, okay, so I'm 38, I'm going to be 39, and I've started to notice something. I meet with lots of people. I have a great life. I see lots of people. I meet lots of people. If somebody tells me where they went to college in the first sentence as like a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old, I kind of think it's a red flag.
completely peaked in college.
I am going to be just as impressed by my co-founder Taupe, who was a child porter and an orphan who had to go and work at the age of 9. I find him just as impressive as a fourth grade graduate than I do as the man that tells me I went to Yale. It's like, I love Yale. I think it's an amazing institution. People that I love went there. It's just, again, we have this problem where, like, what I would say to these people, in 20 years, nobody's going to ask you where you went. Nobody talks about it. You're just ask everybody. And I do think parents are getting better about this. When you ask every mom and dad, what do they want for their child? It's like, I want them to be happy. And even that's not guaranteed. I want them to be whole. I want them to be full. So I do think there is this awakening amongst us of like, we do know what we want for our children. We do know what is best. When we are quiet and we are centered as mothers, as parents, we know that this is a rat race and not to bite the hook. It's just that sometimes we all get up in it. Just like I get caught up in Instagram nail art. Like, how my nails should look. Like, we all get caught up in it. And it's like, like it's okay to like get into the noise of the algorithm and, of what's not important, but it's really important to like come back. And I think in our inner knowing, in our inner hearts, we know that what we really want for our children is to go on a journey of life and to live a full, joyous lives of up and down, and that they feel loved and they feel whole and they feel seen and they feel a part of something. That's what we want. That they're always curious, that they have community, that they have healthy relationships. So I think it's just really important the language that we, again, back to words, like what do we want for our children? We want healthy relationships. We want connection. We want centeredness. We want groundedness. We want love. I think that's what we should be asking. What do you want for your life? And let me help you. Let's plot out the chart. And that might be a gap year, and it might be a year of working in the relevant field, and it might be an internship or a volunteership, or you want to go to medical school. We're going to help you get there as the grown-ups in the room. However, like just stay centered on what we really want and what we need and what our children need.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. That's so true. So true. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Maggie.
So that's what we need to remind, and we all get caught up in it. Like when I get caught up in, I don't know what's on Instagram that's so stupid right now, or
Um,
um,
I don't know. The bag, well, on TikTok feed is now the hanging bag of fish food and little arrows. Chop it.
your algorithm.
I got problems, Maggie. That was just maybe I should have said that out loud. I used to be a science teacher, so weird stuff comes up.
I I love when my algorithm finds me and like how to take care of your house plants. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I think it's okay to like to I think it's okay to like get caught up in it all and get caught up. And I think it's okay to be proud when your kid gets into Yale or gets an honorary degree or does something amazing. I think that's all okay. But I think as long as it's not what we tether what really matters to. Like what are we really looking for? And that's not the name of the brand.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah. This was so um transformational for us to have this conversation, and we hope that it's not falling on deaf ears, and we hope that our listeners listen to it again and again, like we listen to your book again and again, and
Mhm,
and just sitting, as you said, like with rejection, sitting in the uncomfortable for a bit, because that's when, Brene Brown, like that's when the change takes,
mhm,
right? So there's layers of life lessons and opportunities that we could be taking, and if we just put our blinders on, we're going to miss so many opportunities for growth.
mhm.
So
I also think in this fear paralysis spiral that we're all spiraling in, I mean, we're in a time of unprecedented gun violence and school shootings and um, political violence, and we're all afraid our kids are going to get kidnapped. I mean, we're all afraid. I have nightmares every night. I'm the biggest worrier in the world. I think it's important to like really explore the fear and like just go through, okay, so my kid doesn't get into Wake Forest. Like, there's really legitimate fears and concerns and worries and things to hone in and put our focus and energy and attention on. And then it's like, let yourself spiral. Oh my gosh, my kid's not going to get into a single college. Like, and then what? Are they alive? Are they breathing? Are they safe? Are they protected? Do they know they're loved? Like we really do in this time of great distraction and fear. What's important? What's important? If you have your family in a home with food to eat and a safe place to be tucked in at night. That's my favorite quote, by the way, going around on Instagram. We are the luckiest on earth, and let's let a lot of the other stuff go. If your kid comes home from school every day safe right now, we're the luckiest people on earth. Um, and maybe you guys need to change from carpool to what's your thing going to be?
we are a work in progress, Maggie.
we are.
I'll help you with the new brand.
Yeah.
From carpool to college and
Beyond.
what else?
And what else?
Really?
From carpool to launch. From carpool to
Yeah,
a dot dot dot. From it, yes, it's college and so much else.
it really is. I know. It really is. It's so true. I know. We gotta rebrand, Tara.
I know we will. We
You
will.
can keep it. You can keep it, but we'll just like soundbite this one bit of the podcast that like P.S. And it's okay if it's not college.
Oh, right.
That's true. That's true. I spoke with a mom the other day, and my daughter's graduating this year, and she said, instead of saying, "What schools have you looked at?" she said, "Oh, what are her plans for after graduating?" And I was like, "Oh." That was so, like, just so refreshing because it just opened up, and it allowed me to take a breath before I responded.
And what really matters the most is that they're continuing this journey of curiosity and connection and regulation and healthy so I do think if the one takeaway from today is let's reevaluate what questions we ask and let's give alternatives in the language. And language does really matter.
Yeah.
Language really matters for young people, like what we say and how we say it. Uh, um, yeah, and that it's okay to pause. It's okay to question. It's okay to take a time out. It's okay to take a deep breath. Um, yeah, and that we're all going to go on journeys. Let's all move back to the forest.
Yes. Eddie. Right.
Let's just be a hunter-gatherer society again.
I know. Seriously. We might end up that way anyway.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I got the new name of your brand. It's From Carpool to the Forest.
Exactly. 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 We're keeping people. Amazing.
I love it.
Carpool to the potential 30 different careers that you're
Yeah.
gonna have in your lifetime.
From carpool to chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much. It was really so
Sure.
great to speak with you.
Can we
And
you want to give some wonderful plugs for your nonprofit, your books, your projects? Well, go, please talk. Our
Oh
listeners
goodness.
will be
Yeah. Well, if there's a young person in your life that is looking for a coming of age, like it's all gonna be okay. It's okay if you get rejected from Wake Forest Story. You can check out it's my book, Between the Mountain and the Sky. We also have a film out by the same title, Between the Mountain and the Sky. And our work, the most important thing is our work in Nepal and around the world for children, creating a world where children are safe, educated, and loved. And that's BlinkNow.org. You can learn so much about our work and how to support children who are not having these conversations because they're just trying to survive and live to the age of 5 and get into kindergarten and stay in school till 8th grade. And I want that world where we can have these conversations with our most vulnerable, with our bottom billion, with kids struggling with extreme poverty and orphanhood, which is what I'm really passionate about too. So you can follow along on blinknow.org and learn more about how to help kids in need over there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maggie.
thank you for listening to From Carpool to College. We never want parents to say, "I wish I knew then what I know now." If today's conversation gave you clarity or direction, we invite you to explore more at FromCarpoolToCollege.com. And if your family is looking for personalized college and career planning support, visit academicmentoringllc.com to learn how we guide students and their families through this process with intention and strategy.